All right, so we're gonna see how this works, but I just wanted to welcome you to our whatever this next episode of our little ride is. But we're actually at the library, and funny story, my actual first experience with a synthetic material was back in like probably 1989, 88, 89, and it was with nylon. And about probably 2 years ago, I came here to this library to try to see if I could find some more research. What's that? Okay, I'll let them know. Thank you. That's okay. Somebody left their glasses here, so we'll have to let them know that too. The library is closed because of the COVID-19, and I don't have COVID-19. I just cleared my throat. But so anyway, I was here looking for some research and couldn't find anything. And so I'm like, well, I'm here. I got to find something. So I found this book. It's called Nylon. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and have to check it out. And so, I got it, and I opened it up, and I really didn't realize at the time, and so I went ahead and checked it out. Figured I'd look at it, and then a few months go by, and I actually was late. I had a late charge, and so anyway, sorry. All of a sudden, it gets busy right when I'm about to film. So this is just our general page. So you can watch this, not watch it. But this little thing here, I'm gonna read you. It might take me. I read it in 1 minute and 33 seconds. So I'll see if I can do that a little bit faster. It might take me the same amount of time, but. One thing I say, let's support our local libraries and get in a little bit more. But got my new glasses, so here we go. We're going to read a little bit. So this is what I opened up to. This is on page 9 of the book Nylon, and leading up to it, just kind of starts talking about how fashion is getting a little more synthetic. So then it goes here. It says the history of synthetics is full of paradoxes, which things that you don't think can happen actually are happening. Use a little example. The way it says silk is now a cheap third world fiber, while synthetics can cost 300 pounds per meter. Obviously, this is a European type thing, or $500 per meter, which is not. That's not true. Silk is still a lot more expensive than a synthetic silk that I know of. But it says here, the ingenuity of fiber engineers, aka chemists, has made it very, very difficult to distinguish artificial from natural fibers. And textiles, once an agricultural-based industry, has become largely chemical. So even our agricultural stuff now is GMO, right? I think we talked about that at the farm. It says here, synthetics also made 20th century fashion what it is now, a mass market, fast-moving industry. And this was written in like 1998. You think it's a little bit faster now? But where do we stand? Where do they stand on the ladder of design status? Which means, what's the progress looking like? So, 20 years later, I think progress is well. Let's hear the questions. So, the question is, so where do they stand on the ladder of design status? Are they social miracles in quotes or spoilers of the environment? Look around. What do you think? Did they create a completely new cultural and design aesthetic, or are they simply cheap surrogates? We'll get more into surrogate stuff later. Did they bring the dream of plenty, or a wasteland of worthless things? Next thing. Both sides of each argument have been voiced at various times, and one way of answering such a question, well, and by the way, both sides, so whatever side you're on, you can make a valid point where stats come in. But so anyway, one way of answering such question might be to imagine another science fiction scenario. So check this out. Listen to this. Okay, here, one where a strange new virus, we all know how viruses are, you can't see them, evolves and attacks only plastics and synthetics. That's it. So your clothes and probably most of the stuff around your house and your cars and what kind of society would survive melting away of man-made materials, and would we want to live in it? That is a good question as I drop my papers. And not only would we want to live in it, do you think all these animals and Mother Nature and the ocean and like, how do you think they feel about it? Let's start asking better questions. And man, like, does the material really matter? Like, look at the total cost of the material and the effects it has on our body, on our soul, on our mind, like all that stuff, and then also on the world. So there's a lot more research that can get into, like, just as far, just go to cotton and everything a cottonseed and the cotton run can be. But once you make it GMO or synthetic, like all that is gone. Animal feed, like you can't feed animals what used to be a natural fiber to now it's a GMO, so it's a synthetic. So it's actually poisonous, it's toxic for the animal to eat. So there's a lot that goes into these things, and we're all connected. So let's connect, let's worry about the material, and let's make organic natural again. Just organic is what it is, and I'm cool with that. And then anything else, man, that's when you put the labels on it and you put so people know what they're getting and the warnings and the possible things that could happen. However, if you watch the movie that we have, or the little the Bren study with Patagonia that they did on, you know, marine life and the big knowledge gap with microfibers and all that, like, let's be very careful, because that gap, when we say we don't have knowledge, I think we have a lot more knowledge than we're saying. And don't get caught waiting for the right answer to come up to say, oh yeah, everything's fine, you're good. Like, do a little research your own, find out your own answers, and let's keep in touch. What's your own? The material does matter. It does, right? And if anybody wants to borrow this book, Nylon, I can send it to you, because I do own it now. I actually had a late fee on it, and by the time I was able to get enough money to hopefully pay for it, because I didn't have any money, it cost me less to buy the book and keep it than returning it. So I own it now. And yeah, I guess one extra thing I got along the journey. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I don't think we really need to say, you know, why do you need to, you know, what do you need to know, why do you need to know it, what do you need to do, why do you need to do it, and how we can help. I think that sums it up pretty good. So, awareness. All right, thanks, bye.